Welcome to U.S. History. Our new unit is going to focus on the original 13 colonies. What has gotten to this point so far is a brief summary of some of the things we've learned and talked about the four migration theories to North and South America, some of the early explorers, including Leif Erikson and Columbus, and then the three early colonies that we talked about with various important reasons in the development of the United States, so what would become the United States: Roanoke, Jamestown, and Plymouth. At this period in time, about 1620 to 1780, England, Spain, and France all had colonies or claimed colonies in what would become the United States. I think it's important to realize that it just wasn't England that claimed land. England claimed land on the east coast of what would become the United States. France claimed land in what would become the Midwest and Canada. And then Spain claimed land what would become Mexico and the western United States. So it just wasn't America in isolation claiming land. Of course, we had the Native Americans involved from coast to coast, and we'll be talking about our expansion and move more westward as we go. But for right now, we're going to talk about these original 13 colonies. These 13 colonies developed after Jamestown became our first permanent colony in 1607. And in the course of 184 years, they developed one by one. It didn't all happen at one time. And it took 184 years. I think in 1791, we finally got our 14th colony, Vermont, and that was after the Revolutionary War. So we're going to talk about our original 13 colonies. As we go through this unit, we're going to divide the 13 colonies into three regions. The first region that we're going to talk about in this lesson is the New England colonies. These are composed of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. In our second lesson, we'll be talking about the middle colonies, which are New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Our third region in this unit will be the southern colonies, Maryland, Virginia, North and South Carolina, and Georgia. So each one will have a unit, and we'll talk about various things that are related to each of the three regions. There were several reasons why immigrants wanted to come to America from Europe. We call these the push factors. Okay, what pushed them out of the land that they were there? What caused them to take the dangerous trip over to the Americas? And there were several, including poverty, lack of economic opportunity, which means lack of jobs, no freedom, religious persecution, and just farming, famine, and starvation. You have to realize at this time in Europe, about 2% of the people own most of the land and most of the factories and most of all the wealth. And a large majority of the people were poor, so they were looking for an opportunity to come have a new start. So those new starts are called pull factors. What pulled people to America? Okay, so this would be opportunities for jobs, free land or land ownership, peace and stability, and the freedom to make a better life, whether it be religious freedom or just wanting to be on your own. As people migrated to what would become the 13 colonies, for us, it was settled mostly by people from England. Okay, and as they came, it developed into three distinct regions. Okay, we said it's the New England, the middle, and the southern colonies. These are all going to be have different geographical, different cultural, and different economic reasons and features that we'll talk about and learn about as they grew and developed. As we covered earlier in the year with the mound builders, the Anasazi Indians of the Southwest, and the Plains Native Americans, the geography of these environments of these three regions, the society and culture and the economics all greatly influenced all three of these. So just to review, what is geography? Well, that's going to be the location that they are at and the features of the land. Economics, when we talk about economics, it means what kind of jobs did they have there? What did they make or sell? How much money do they make? And then the society part of it is what religion were you? Were you rich or poor, your social status? And where were you from? What country were you from? There were different regions where different people migrated to be with people from their own country. Okay, so we have geography, economic, and societal reasons. Some of the things that we'll talk about for geography, like who had the colder climate, shorter growing seasons? It would be New England. Warm summers, cold winters, that would be the middle regions. And then the warm climate year-round would be the southern. Okay, so that has to do with geography. When we talk about economics, these are things that we said what type of jobs did they have, what did they do for money. The South was warm climate, so they grew tobacco, like we've already talked about with Virginia. Rice and indigo were two other crops. In the north, in New England, where it was colder, they had shipbuilding, they did fishing, and they did trade with England. They were very big trading partners with England. And then in the middle colonies, we'll come to learn that this was called America's breadbasket. These were the farming regions. They made wheat and barley and rye. And again, they were big trading partners with not only the north or New England and the southern regions, but also with England. And then lastly, the societal factors that we'll cover with each of the colonies. The middle colonies looking for farmland. They wanted to press west and move west. They were big into westward expansion. The cotton and tobacco plantation owners, this would have been in the South. So this is where slavery is going to take hold. And we'll be talking about that with each unit as we go. And then the first unit that we're going to talk about is the New England colonies. And we find that that is going to be founded mostly on religion. We studied that with Plymouth, with the Pilgrims, being separatists and the Puritans. They wanted to go to where they could practice their religion freely. So we'll stop here. And when we come back, we're going to be starting with the 4 New England colonies. Thank you.